Hi everyone, welcome to this video. I have been thinking about the daily practice that I want to create for myself, and I thought this is a really good subject because so many people have a lot of hang-ups around just motivating themselves to set some daily practice, and I think it's daunting, especially going into the Christmas season and just holiday season, and there's craziness, and then there's the new year and everybody is thinking about New Year's resolutions, and we're kind of in that season of beginning that train of thought. So I came up with 5 things that I think are important when setting a daily practice, and also for myself what I'm trying to think about. The first one is to set something very simple, because simplicity doesn't always mean less proficient. I think starting with something just like in the morning I make my favorite drink. I make lemon and honey water, and I decided today that when I sit down and when I drink that drink, I'm going to be mindful, and I'm going to try not to look at my phone and whatever, watch Netflix, whatever I do. I think daily practices are not about how much you do or the amount of time you do them, but how mindful you are as you're doing it. And I think the second thing that I want to create in my life, the second little tool that I want to use as a daily practice is gratitude. And I know I'm very grateful for so many things, and I say it a lot. But do I practice it, and do I take a conscious moment every day to really stop and let that sink in? I don't know if I do. I think most of us are in the rush of everyday things that we really have a hard time to stop. And I know for myself as well, my mind has sort of gotten used to going on my phone whenever I have a spare moment. So I think for me, taking a moment, and I'm going to do this in the morning, right as I open my eyes, before I go to my nightstand and look at my phone and check what time it is. I'm going to stop and I'm going to breathe for a minute or a minute and a half and just think about some things that I'm grateful for. And it's really that simple. I think, just taking moments of mindfulness. I think it's that simple because that creates new grooves in the mind and sets that tone for the rest of your day, that you chose this. And that's what I think a daily practice comes down to, is intention. It's not necessarily what you do. So that brings me to step 3, is to be kind to yourself and be patient with yourself, because I really don't think it's a matter of bullying yourself into a practice and telling yourself, I have to do this, because that's not compassionate living to ourselves. That's not kind and loving to ourselves. So that's why I pick small things in the beginning, because, well, really they're not small. They're very big, and they will reach to all corners of your life. But a routine in that way, even if it's just, our own mindfulness each and every day, that creates the change. So number 4 is connection, and I think each and every day we should all find some bit of connection, whether it's to nature, or whether it's to another human being, or whether it's sharing, sharing a moment with a pet, or whatever. I think connection is so important, and if we miss out on connection in our life, we're missing out on so much of the human experience. And I know for me, I want to do this more. It's been coming up a lot these days, is I just want to be more open to connections in all forms. Even just when I'm going to the grocery store, I don't want to be in my own little world. I want to be open and I want to connect. So that, I think, is a good practice. That's sort of my own practice that I want to start, but I think it's also good for anybody. And the 5th one that I think is also very important is movement. Whether it be for 30 seconds or 30 minutes, I think movement is important, and also it's that mind, body, spirit connection piece that I think is really essential to staying in tune with ourselves, with our desires and our passions, and even being able to know when to slow down and when to speed up, and just being able to gauge that. I think movement is important, and for me it usually comes in the form of going outside and taking a walk. In the summer I take barefoot walks, and that's so healing for me. So those are some things that I want to do for myself, but take those 5 steps as you will and sort of apply it in your own life. But I think overall what it comes down is intention and mindfulness. And when you have those 2 things, the inspiration comes and it flows to you. But you have to be compassionate and you have to be kind to yourself, because I don't think in any way, shape, or form does it work to bully yourself into a practice. And I don't think it's very productive to say, I have to do this 1 hour a day, or I have to do this 2 hours a day, or, you know, I think that creates sort of a resistance to that very thing in the beginning. If we set an intention, I want to create space for myself today, then that can come in many different forms. And if that intention is in a quiet moment, like in the very, beginning of your day when you open your eyes, I think that's really important. And maybe your daily practice can be different every day, as long as you are set to those maybe 5 different steps that you want to do in some way that day. So I feel inspired. I do. I feel really inspired to just like create more and be more and move more and connect more. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it inspired you to think of some new things for yourself, and maybe just what you're already doing is great. Maybe that's your epiphany of the day. So thank you for watching, and if you would like to share some of your daily practices or insights down in the comments, I would love to see that and be inspired by that. And thank you so much for just following and subscribing and being a friend, and I appreciate all of you. So get on with your day and be inspired.